Hello and welcome back to Hassan the Turban's Off the Camel. Actually, no, that's not true. Hassan the Turban, that's terrible. Oh my god, that's worse than usual even for me. No, this is Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff. To all my Arab pals out there, my apologies. Hassan the Turban. And I'm off the camel. Oh my god, I'm going to be paying for that one. I know I am. Welcome back, everybody. That was Arabian Passion by, let me see if I can get this right, Babu Kashan. Yes, that was Babu Kashan and his song Arabian Passion. Matter of fact, I want to listen to a little more of that. See if we can move it up a little bit here. Oh yeah, that's my jam right there. Yeah. So that's how you get all the pussy. Yeah. I don't care what you say, I actually like that song. Oh my god. Sorry for all the background noise around here today. It is about almost 6 o'clock here in Los Angeles, but it is fucking hot. And normally I kill off all the external noises around here, and and turn off the air conditioning, all that good shit. But no, it's too fucking hot. So you can deal with a little in the background, okay? Or I can put on more Babukashan. I did like that song. I don't care what anybody says. I did like that song. Maybe Babu Kashan did not like my joke, but odds are he's probably not listening. And if he is, I hope he has a sense of humor about it. Speaking of senses of humor, yesterday I went on a whole nice long tirade about Miley Cyrus, who I put her in my little movie, my little spank bank movie, that I like running these days, as always. But people are like getting all bent out of shape over it, man. They're losing their fucking mind. Like this is like the first young little piece of ass to appear on the VMAs and like shake her ass and her titties for everybody. Like this is the first time this has ever happened. Okay. I'm sorry, you can't be Hannah Montana the rest of your fucking life, okay? She's a woman now, and she wants to prove it, and I wish she'd prove it to me. But yeah, people are getting all pissed off about it, and people are getting more pissed about it because with so many real tragedies going on in the world, I think it just sickens me that all people want to do is, talk about her on the VMAs and, how all this arrogance that people are displaying. I'm like, shut the fuck up already. God damn it. Jesus Christ. You can't fucking enjoy your life a little bit? Does it all have to be doom and gloom? I had some Facebook friends, they were posting all this shit about how, it's like, how is it, and it's like, we've got war in the Middle East, we got people, fires, threatening this, a water supply is threatening that, our civil liberties are being infringed upon, and all we can talk about is Miley Cyrus. And I'm like, yeah, just like you are right now, bitch. You're talking about Miley Cyrus too. I said it yesterday, I said it today. When people ask what the fuck was Miley Cyrus thinking at the VMAs, she was thinking, I want people to talk about me. And she did it, she won, okay? She's right up there with Charlie Sheen. She's winning, all right? I honestly, you know what? Just because I enjoy crap doesn't mean that I can't enjoy or appreciate, I think appreciate's a better word, the real things in life that are happening on our little blue marble here, okay? I mean, yeah, you know what? I watch the news. I listen to the news in the car. I read the newspaper, the actual physical newspaper, every fucking day. you know? And yeah, I enjoy my comics and my sports section, and I enjoy my entertainment section. I do my crosswords, and then I read then I also read the business section and the front page and all the other stuff about it, you know? And I got to tell you, the fact that you bring up all these awful, terrible things at a cocktail party doesn't make anything better. Just want to make sure you understand that out there, okay? It doesn't make it better when you just bringing it up and acting as if you're the only person on the planet that actually cares about these things. It doesn't make you a better person. All right, as odds are, you are just as full of shit as anybody else I'm going to talk to on any given day. All right, you don't really care, right? You don't send money, you don't send food, you don't give of your time. You know, you're just as full of shit as anybody else, okay? I think one of the biggest differences between me and most other people I've ever encountered is that I admit to being full of shit. Okay? Mind you, that's not me. That's not the complete person. I am not completely full of shit. That's the very special level of full of shitness. To be completely full of shit reserved solely for politicians and religious leaders. But, my background isn't stand-up comedy, show business. Doing a little web radio show here, man. That's full of shit is my bread and butter. That is what I do, okay? I mean, I've always said it, in my little slogans, I go around spouting off about shit I barely understand. So I do light crap like Miley Cyrus, and I talk about Batman and 10 things you should never say about your ex, which will be coming up today, trust me on that one, and celebrity birthdays. Yeah, I do talk about that bullshit. Yeah, of course I do. And then I also talk about, the lack of privacy we have on the planet. We talk about the wars. I talk about all those rapes in India. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. India, stop raping the tourists, for God's sakes. Give it a fucking break already. I can't watch the news. I can't open up the newspaper without finding out that there was yet another gangbang rape in India. I mean, when did this start happening? You can't turn on the news without finding out about it. Yet some other tourists being gang raped in India. And very publicly, usually, as well. On a bus, walking down the street, in a hotel room. Everybody's getting gang raped in India. I mean, that is not the way you want to advertise, is it? Come to India, get gang raped. And then we'll hear more of Babushikano. You know what? There's so many. That's the problem, I think. There's so many serious, awful things happening in the world, and I know that there's a lot of people out there that think that people like my ex-wife or even my girlfriend, people that don't like to watch the news, they don't like to really read the news, that for some reason that these people are naive, that these people are not connected to the real world, that they don't really understand the gravitas of what's going on in the world around them. No, they get it. They just don't want to hear about it as much as some of you do. I mean, some of you guys live in this doom and gloom world where everything is turning to shit, nothing's getting better, and you're not helping. Really, this is what happens. I read the news every day, and the thing is, there's so much of it, and it doesn't ever really fucking change. Okay, I look through my newspaper, right, on a daily basis, and I check it out. Okay, all right, let's see here. Murder, death, racism, all still here. Good, check, right on. People in Mexico still killing the living fuck out of each other. With the drug cartels. Yep, still going on, all right. Are places like Libya, Syria, Iran, Iraq, are they all complete total shitholes that we just like to routinely go into and bomb the fuck out of? Yep, check that one. We got that one going. Is the economy still in the toilet? Let me see. Yeah, it is. All right, good. Did some horrible natural disaster wipe out yet some other island nation, and there are millions, that don't have homes, and hundreds of thousands are missing or dead? Yep, still doing that. Okay, that's still going on. Good. Time for Jeopardy. Time for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. What the hell happened to the Jersey Shore? I miss it. Well, no, I don't. But You know, like I said, just because you enjoy crap doesn't mean you can't appreciate the real stuff. And just because you enjoy the real stuff doesn't mean you can't enjoy crap. I mean, Jesus Christ. You know, because a lot of the same people that go around watching, you know, all the news and reading the paper all the time and having like C-SPAN directly like being shot into their brain, I bet you every once in a while when no one's looking, they still like to watch Cops. You know, bad boys, what you gonna do? You know, they still like watching Cops, all right? Don't lie to me. Oh, that and I'm not big into reality TV, but one of my absolute favorites is always, To Catch a Predator. You know, where they go around doing these sting operations for guys that are trying to like hook up with like underage girls and boys for that matter, you know. And it's always that same asshole that, you know, they got everything posted up. They set up the house. They have the cameras, right? And they always have that same asshole who then walks up to the person who's supposed to meet the underage kid. It's like, so what are you doing here? Huh? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Are you here to meet a kid? Are you here to meet a child? Are you here to meet a 14-year-old? What's in the bag? What is that? Is that vodka? Is that a rope? What's that for? Are those condoms? What's that for? I love in the Catch a Predator. It's like okay. Maybe I was planning on kidnapping and raping them, but I still was, you know, conscientious enough to remember to bring condoms. Gotta do that. Oh my God, people. Yes. We are America. We love our crap. There's a reason Honey Boo Boo is on the air. Okay. Let's not go around thinking you're any better than anybody else just because you don't watch crap openly. All right, I don't know where those ratings are coming from. Then, if enough people aren't watching, actually, the one show that I find fascinating that people are watching is Duck Dynasty. What the fuck is going on there? I've never even watched Duck Dynasty. Now, you know, fill me in. You know, feel free to write to me anytime, okay? On Facebook or on my email, you know, joetheshirt@yahoo.com. Please email me. Leave messages on my Facebook, you know, at the Inappropriate Conversation site. Leave a message. Let me know what's going on, man, because as far as I can tell, you got a bunch of rednecks living in the woods, and their business is making duck calls, and all they do is hang around making duck calls while they get rich for being on TV. I don't know if that's the entire show, but that's what it sounds like so far to me, you know. And unlike, you know how people always say, well, you really can't criticize something without, you know, watching it. I'm like, yeah, I can actually. Watch me. I can do it. Yeah. You know, the old saying is like, you can't criticize. You don't know if you'll like it until you try it. Actually, I'm pretty sure I could. You know, I've never taken a dick in my ass. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna like it. I'm pretty sure. I've never had somebody, you know, chop off my left hand with a machete. Pretty sure I'm not gonna like that either. Yeah, so, no, I don't need to try anything to know that I'm probably not going to like it. Is there a possibility that I will? Maybe so. Maybe I'll turn on Duck Dynasty, cannot stop watching it, and we'll start TiVoing every fucking week, and maybe I'll start taking dicks in my ass. Who knows? I wouldn't bet on it, though. Oh, my God, but I will be getting back to more stuff. You know what? Before we take our first break, let's do our celebrity birthdays, and then we'll go to break. If your birthday is August 27th, you share a birthday with Peter Mensah, of 54 years old, from Spartacus. Tony Kanal, 43 years old, from No Doubt. Peter Starmore, from 60 years old. He's an older actor. You've seen him everywhere. Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer, is 44. Yolanda Adams, gospel artist, is 52 years old. Patrick J. Adams, he plays the young kid on TV show Suits, is 32. Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad, he plays Jesse from Breaking Bad, is 34. Alex Lifeson is 60 from the band Rush. Palit Singh Rana is 41 years old. He was the World Wrestling Entertainment, whatever, heavyweight champ. And Paul Herman Rubens, you may know him as Pee Wee Herman, is 61 fucking years old, if you can believe that. Wow, Pee Wee Herman is 61 years old. My God. I tell you, he's been trying to make a comeback. You know, he's appearing in TV shows here and there. Every once in a while, no makeup, no Pee Wee Herman outfit, you know. And, for a while there, he had the Pee Wee Herman empire, man. He had the movies, he had the toys, he had the TV show, Pee-wee's Playhouse, and then you get caught jerking off in a movie theater one time, and you're a pariah. Any case, we're going to take a break now, and this is more Babushikan and his song, Faces. I'm Joe the Shirt, I'm off the cuff, and I'll be right back.
पप्पी नालो जप्पी चंगी ओ जप्पी नालो पप्पी चंगी तू आजा तुझसे लिपट जाऊं मैं मेरे रंग में तू रंगी है पप्पी नालो जप्पी चंगी हाय हाय पप्पी नालो पप्पी चंगी ओए होए तू आजा तुझसे लिपट जाऊं मैं मेरे रंग में तू रंगी ओ पप्पी नालो जप्पी चंगी जप्पी नालो.
And once again, Joe the Shirt is off the cuff. And that was more Babushikan and his song Faces, or their song Face. I don't know if it's a group or a man or a woman or a duet. I really don't know. But I am enjoying their shit today. So, now shifting back to more serious conversation here on Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff. We'll be talking about the Dow Industrial Average and the NASDAQ. And no, we won't. But we will be talking about... I actually wanted to bring up a friend of mine, my friend Paula. Paula posted today on Facebook about this video about how for the last several years, as many as 2,200 people have died along the Arizona-Mexico borders. And, it's a lot of people. People that are Mexican people trying to get over from Mexico into the United States, looking for better lives, looking for work, looking to reunite with family members. And, of course, they encounter, the wall down there, meant to keep them out of the United States. Now, what happened here is they only built the wall so big. And because of that, then what the Mexicans will do is walk around the wall and then go through what's there. And what's there is fucking desert. Lots of it. Lots of very rough terrain, no trees, no water, no food. There's no Taco Bell anywhere around there, okay? And there's no Del Taco anywhere, all right? There's no Chipotles. There's, honestly, there's no Acapulcos. There's nothing, all right? So then these guys, there's no cart guy, all right? There's no guy with a cart or even a food truck anywhere. A taco truck, road church, nothing, okay? And they and they decide, okay, we can either turn back or we can brave these hundreds, if not thousands of miles of death to come to America. I mean, you got to know that where you're coming from is total shit if you're willing to go through that. Now, please don't confuse me. I'm not saying that Mexico is total shit. I love Mexico. I've been to Mexico many, 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 many times. Not just the resorts. I've actually spent a week in Mexico City, which if you aren't careful, you can lose your ass. And I mean that both literally and figuratively, okay? You can lose your ass in Mexico City if you're not fucking careful. But I spent about a week there for work, and great places all around. I love Mexico, love Mexican people. Mexican ladies, so there's a lot of love. Lords love Mexican food and Mexican mota, though I have to admit, I do enjoy my California mota a bit more. But anyway, I digress. So we have the Border Patrol, we have our immigration laws in effect, and the person that made this video is asking the questions, are we really doing the right thing by making it so difficult for these people to, come into our country that they actually risk their lives to do it? And I got to tell you, the vast majority of these people, they're dying of exposure. And we're not talking about film here, okay? exposure is a very, very ugly, slow, painful way to die. What that basically means when you die from exposure is that you are walking through the desert. You're exposed to incredible heat during the day, skin beginning to boil, basically. Exposed to incredible cold at night. And like I said, no water, no food. There's no Del Tacos anywhere, okay? And you're also risk, coming up wild animals, getting yourself hurt. You know what? There's no CVS in the desert for you to like get some antiseptic if you like scratch yourself on something. Okay, if a rattlesnake bites your ass, you're kind of fucked. And they're finding these bodies all throughout the desert, bodies that have been desiccated so much as to the point of being mummified. And the question being asked, does the United States have any responsibility in these deaths? Or should they be involved in preventing these deaths? And my heart goes out to these people because it's not that I've suffered this kind of hardship, but I can see where you're in a situation that you want to get out of and you want to make your life better, and you don't think it's going to happen through normal legal channels. And you know what? A lot of times you're right. It's not going to happen through normal legal channels. There's a good chance that unless you take matters into your own hands, yeah, you are kind of fucked. But is that our responsibility to fix that? Is it our responsibility? Is it our fault? And I have to say, no. No, it's not. I really don't think so. I think that the laws are set up, okay? The laws are, this is our country, that's your country. We don't want you coming into our country without the proper legal channels, okay? And to that end, we have patrols, we have guards, we put up a wall. There's keep off the grass sign in front. I mean, you saw it, right? It says keep off the grass. You should do that. What do you got to do? Put a danger rattlesnake in yard kind of thing? What do you want from me? And I don't think that's our fault. I don't think it is. I think that these people make a decision, a bad, very misinformed decision. But to say that the United States has a responsibility to do something about these deaths or about preventing them, I think no. I really don't think so. Look, I'll be the first one to admit that, we live in a country that we invaded without permission. We took it over. We killed the indigenous population. Yeah, we got them sick and pretty much wiped them out. Like Chris Rock said, when was the last time you saw two Indians at the same time? You ain't never seen two Indians. You got one Indian and Jennifer Lopez. But, I just like if people in Canada decided they wanted to come through some of those nasty cold ass regions up there, sneak in, maybe like go over, take a swim through one of the Great Lakes, whatever. You freeze your ass to death. Pretty much that's a fuck you. That's your fault. It's a bad idea. Don't do it. And it's not that we're not supposed to care, but I don't see how it's our problem. It's one of those things that maybe it's our fault. Maybe. I don't think so, but it's definitely not our problem. I mean, Mexico has been in a state of flux for as long as I've ever heard of Mexico, but even more so now, between the drug cartels along the border, all the murders that are occurring there. I mean, shit, I understand why people want to leave a lot of the time. And there's some towns in Mexico that really, it's just, it's like watching a Tarantino movie. It's like really the local drug lord does run everything. And the police are, yes, they are completely corrupted, and you can't go to anyone for help. It is really like that in some places, and I feel bad for that. But I'm sorry, it's not our problem. Just like I don't think it's our problem to go around policing the world. Because every time the United States tries to, police the world, the first thing and everybody ever does, hey, it's not your place to police the world, okay? Hey, we decided we were going to start this war with this country. Who the fuck are you to come in and tell us that we can't have our war? You have your wars whenever the fuck you want. I want to have a war too. So there's a reason so many countries hate us, because, we act like we're better than they are. Excuse me, need some water. It's not like it's not like my heart doesn't reach out to them. I feel for their plight, but only to the extent that if we're talking about human lives, but not any particular human lives I know. So, like I said, I own my shit. I know I'm full of shit a lot of the times. But unlike other people, I'm not anal retentive about it. I'm anal expressive. Okay, I'm anal explosive some days. Okay, I come out with all this shit. And, a lot of times I don't think about what I say before I say it. But, that's kind of the reason you're listening to the show. Not because I have a well-thought-out plan here. I'm really not that much different from any of you, I don't know everything. I read the news, I watch the news, but I can't read and watch it all. I can't. It's nuts. I mean, if you could literally just leave the news on in your room, like put on C-SPAN or whatever, or any one of these news channels, and just leave it on, and the bad news will literally not stop. War, death, rape, disease. It's the apocalypse out there, okay? War, death, disease, and famine. It's there, man. It's happening right now. So, you could just leave the news on. It'll just, and it can come up with 24 hours a day, 7 days a week of bad news. Guarantee it. You know what? So if every once in a while you want to turn on, I don't know, Us Magazine or Weekly or any of the Today Show, and just go, oh look, Kate Middleton had a baby. Just sit there drooling like an idiot. Please go ahead and do so. Jesus, you need to smile. You need to laugh every once in a while. You can't be doom and gloom all the time. And it can't. I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that it's our job to fix it. Not all of it. We can't fix ourselves. We cannot fix ourselves. We're living in a time of some of the highest unemployment rates in history. We're living in a time of where people are just shooting each other on the street. I mean, I live in Los Angeles, where people literally just walk around down Sunset Boulevard and just start shooting up the place, like we're in some bad Lethal Weapon movie. Not that any of them were bad. I loved all the Lethal Weapon movies, but it's we can barely take care of ourselves, and I feel bad for Mexico and the Koreas and the Afghanistans and the Libyas and the Haitis, but we can't do it all, man. Every time we try, we get somebody else smacking us in the face, going, "Hey, that's not your job," or worse yet, going, "Hey, you're not doing enough." That's always the really biggest bitch to me. It's like when the United States does step in to try to help, they try to send in food, they try to send in medicine to help these places. They're getting their asses kicked, either by the elements or their own people or their neighbors. We try to help. We try to send in not soldiers, but food, money, medical supplies. And then what happens? We're told it's not enough, or the stuff that we send in to help gets stolen. Sometimes by the very government entities that we're trying to help. Here's a bunch of food for your people, not you and your rich bureaucrat friends. And that's what happens a lot. Or if you ever try sending food to Somalia, you know what happens? Warlords get it. They steal it. And then they sell it. Or they eat it themselves. So yeah, every once in a while, I do want to watch Miley Cyrus twerking. That's right, I really do. And in that vein, we're going to take another break. And this is more Babushka Khan and his song, Crazy Love. I'm Joe the Shirt. and I'm off the cuff.
बड़ा बेशर्म है, इश्क बड़ा बेरहम है, इश्क बड़ा बेशर्म है, इश्क बड़ा बेरहम है, इश्क बड़ा बेशर्म है, इश्क बड़ा बेरहम है। जान लेता भी है, जान देता भी है, सुन यारा ओ यारा, इश्क बड़ा बेशर्म है, इश्क बड़ा बेरहम है, इश्क बड़ा बेशर्म है, इश्क बड़ा बेरहम है, इश्क बड़ा बेशर्म है, इश्क बड़ा बेरहम है।
And Joe Shirt is back. That's right. Sorry I took so long out there, but I had to pee. There's no bathroom here in the studio, also known as my dining room table. So I had to go all the way to the bathroom, which is all the way the other end of the house. So there you go. Enough heaviness for right now. How about I lighten it up a little bit? Now, every once in a while, I've told you guys, I'll get the sources for my material from anywhere. Okay, the sources I'll get from absolutely anywhere. I don't care where it's from, as long as it catches my eye in some way or another. This next one comes from Cosmo Magazine. That's right, Cosmopolitan. Not that I go around reading Cosmopolitan Magazine, but every once in a while they'll post something online, and I'm like, oh, really? I gotta go with this. And one of today's topics is 10 things you should never say about your ex. Now, I always love these because a lot of times Cosmo, well, let's just say they get it fucking wrong, all right? So let's go. Number one thing that you should not say, these are in no particular order, but number one, the things you should not say about your ex. Now, they don't really specify who you're saying these things to. It could be your friends, your girlfriends, your new boyfriend, your parents, your coworkers. But generally speaking, don't say these things. Number one, he was broke. Okay. Now, I don't see this as a particular problem, honestly, unless it really depends on who you're saying it to. If you're saying it to one of your bitchy-ass girlfriends, then yeah, she'll be like all over that. It's like, oh yeah, going with those broke fools, can't be doing that, that's fine, and especially if you have a higher income kind of person, that might wear on you after a while. But then again, you got to remember, you made the decision to go out with the poor bastard in the first place. Okay, everything he did, thought, or said was terrible. Okay, now hold on. If that's true, then why were you dating him? If everything he said, thought, and did was terrible, you're a fucking idiot. Number 3, he was always a jerk. Let's go back to number 2. Your fault. If he was such a jerk, why were you with him? Number 4, and this is one you definitely want to keep to yourself more often than not, that you still love. I still love him. He was a jerk. Everything he did and said was wrong, and everything he thought was wrong, and he was a broke-ass motherfucker, but I still love him. Now, can you understand why somebody listening to you would find that fucking annoying? He was broke. Everything he did, said, and thought was terrible, and he was a jerk. But you still love him. You are a stupid bitch is what you are. You shouldn't mention things that would be considered super embarrassing. Now, super embarrassing. Let's consider what could be super embarrassing. He only had one testicle. There you go. I think that qualifies as super embarrassing. One time when he was when we were driving home from the beach and we had Taco Bell, he shit himself in the car. Not just a little bit. I'm talking like a full-on shit. It filled up his khakis. He cockeyed his khakis, all right? So, those are things, you keep that to yourself. Until he okays it, you keep that to yourself. Anything that he told you in confidence, like anything he told you about Bob at work, or or that terrible secret about his mother and the dog, those things you keep to yourself. You might want to not talk about the qualities about him that you loved about him. Now, this one to me seems a little bit odd, but again, it depends on who you're talking to. Like, if you want to tell your best friend, hey, you know what, Joe really could fuck the shit right out of me, go ahead. Maybe not your husband. You don't want to mention that to your husband. You don't want to talk about how much your parents loved him. Again, this depends on who you're talking to. Your new boyfriend, your husband, they don't want to hear it, especially if your parents don't like your current beau. You don't want to mention that sex was bad, and here I'm gonna disagree with this one. Well, in part, again, it depends on how long you were with him. Okay, if you were with him for like a week or two, the sex was bad. Well, then you know why you broke up with him. Okay, fine. Okay, I get that. But you're with somebody for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, however long it is, and all you can talk about is how bad the sex was. Well, what did you do to improve it at all? Or why did you stay with it so long if it was so bad? And great sex isn't about quantity, it's about quality. You might be having sex once every 6 months, but it's the most mind-blowing sex, and your pussy just can't take it for another 6 months. It could be that he's humping and pumping every day, but you'd rather be doing your nails. Who knows? But if you want to tell your friends about, sex is bad, well, good thing you're only with them for 2 weeks. Yeah, really. And also, now this one is strictly for your new boyfriend and husband. Never mentioned any negative qualities that your ex and your new man share. Okay, or at least that you think are negative. You don't want to compare apples to apples here, okay? Like, you know what? My ex had a little dick just like yours. You know what? My ex always used to criticize me just the way you do. I find that really fucking annoying. It's like, you know what? My ex used to put ketchup on his fries just like that. It's so stupid. I don't even know why you do that too. Yeah, see, we don't want to hear that bullshit, all right? Now, something that did catch my eye, story out of London. British judge okays the search of seized devices. Apparently, British authorities can now search for data harmful to national security on electronic equipment seized from the partner of a journalist, but they're not allowed to copy, disclose, distribute any of the material, a judge ruled on Thursday. So basically, Miranda is the partner of American writer Glenn Greenwald. David Miranda, I'm guessing they're gay, but he's a partner of Glenn Greenwald, who did stories for the London's Guardian newspaper, and was in some way involved with Eric Snowden. You remember him, don't you? Well, at Heathrow Airport, Miranda was detained for 9 hours, and a judge okayed his phone, cameras, computers, laptops, PDAs, all of that to be searched for a period of 1 week, and to look for anything that could be considered a credible threat to national security. But the judge said in no vague terms that they were going to be able to keep any of said devices. But if there were any information that was germane to a national security threat, especially one involving possible deaths or an attack, that they would hold on to that information and possibly share it with other agencies around the world, including the United States or any of its allies. Okay. Another case, and this falls back to this now, a case I heard about on the radio just the other day. Me and my girlfriend were coming back from Apollo Casino, wherein a man was pulled over for an unrelated crime. I'm getting to that, trust me. And he's pulled over, and the police searched his cell phone. They just went through it, you know. And during this search, they found a picture of a car, of a man with a car, and the car had been involved in what they're terming a gang-related shooting. The police then arrested the man and charged him with said crime. Now, what is the obvious connection here between these two stories? Well, the obvious connection is authorities having the ability to just search our electronic equipment whenever they want. I mean, it's bad enough that they can already. I mean, they got hackers up the wazoo. They can just go into your computer anytime they want, really, and find out whatever they want. They've been doing it already. But now, now they're legalizing it. They're making it okay. And what they're doing is they're skirting the law, basically. In the case of the alleged gangbanger, I mean, what's happening here is that they pulled him over for an unrelated reason. Maybe he was speeding. Maybe he was had a broken taillight. Who knows? But for whatever reason, they decided to search his phone. I don't understand why they were searching his phone. But in the process of that, they found a picture that was related to a crime, and then they charged him with it. Now, they didn't know that there was a possibility of this picture being on that phone. They didn't know that this guy was in any way related, to the car or in any way connected to the person that was shot or did the shooting. But they found this picture in this camera, in this phone, and decided that, okay, now we can arrest this guy. I mean, that is using evidence against you that they were not entitled to. And it's going to the courts now to decide whether or not they can do this. They didn't have a warrant for this. They had no reason to look into that phone. It had nothing to do with why he was pulled over in the first place. Now, on a much bigger scale, you have this here, where the partner, basically the significant other of a reporter, had himself stopped at an airport as he was trying to go home to Rio de Janeiro. He was Brazilian, and told that he couldn't leave. We're going to take all your electronic equipment. We're going to go rifling through it, searching through it. Gee, hope there's no pictures of you naked in there. And we're going to determine whether or not the stuff that's in there is a risk to national security. Now, they didn't stop the reporter. The reporter was already somewhere else. The reporter, I think, could have been under arrest for all I know. I didn't see that in the article. But they stopped his partner, his life partner, and felt that it was okay to rifle through his personal shit and look for evidence. Now, the gentleman here, Glenn Miranda, I believe it is. Miranda, David Miranda. He does not work for the newspaper. Okay, his job was not, being a reporter for The Guardian. It was known that he did occasionally help his partner when he was working on a story, working on a gig here and there. But that does not mean that he is a reporter. That does not mean that, he was necessarily really involved in it. And that's got to be a scary thing for anybody out there that's a reporter, because one of the things that a reporter cherishes above all else is, the safety of their sources. People that normally would not talk or say anything to anybody without, the grand anonymity protection, okay? Knowing that, whatever they have to tell, nobody will know it came from them. Or just the very idea that, as a reporter, that, it's your job to keep the government honest. And now the government's telling you, you know what, we don't like you doing that. We'd like to make sure you fucking don't do that shit anymore. So, mind you, fortunately, I'm not a reporter. I don't have to worry about these things. My sources are the fucking internet and the newspaper and Cosmo magazine. But this does scare the shit out of me, because this is a way of silencing the truth out there. It's a way of censorship in a lot of ways, because if reporters aren't willing to report, then how the fuck do we know what's real and what's not out there? If we can't trust that the governments in place are going to respect the reporters and their ability to do their job, which is keeping them honest, really, what kind of a communist fucking backwards country are we living in then? Here or there? And what rights do you have? I mean, would that be something? Somebody just pulls you over, picks up your phone, rifles through it, and just finds, shit that you've done in there that you really can't explain properly. In any case, that is it for me today. Thank you for listening. And this is more Babushkan and his song, Oh Nagor. Oh Nagor, okay? I'm Joe the Shirt, and I'm off the cuff.